talk about this, and I seen a brother talk about this, saying that when dealing with black women, you have to leave them. You have to leave them. What the hell is going on for y'all just to make a right turn? Jesus Christ, bro. But hit the link search on the Patreon. You gotta. His quote was, I always mispronounce his name, bro. I don't know what it. BG Imore. I don't know the dude's name. No disrespect. But he got a couple channels that I like. The one when he played the Mandalorian Star Wars horn, he be kicking on there. But somebody correct me. I don't know why I can never remember bro name. But I listen to the streams damn near every day. That's when I'm doing my last truck at work. But he said that when black, and I'll try to find a clip. He said that he's always said that you have to leave a black woman at least once for her to listen to you, right? And I remember he also said, maybe a year or two ago, he might say it all the time, that when you leave, you know, black women, I'm just going on his quote. I think this is really universal at this point, or at least in America it is. When you leave black women, you notice that everything you asked for, they heard you and they actually can complete the task, right? We've heard, you know, black women say, oh, we make you fight for our leadership. That's why we so difficult. You got to fight for our leadership and all this type of shit. And yeah, this piece of shit driving right here, dude. You know, we got to fight for our leadership and all that type of shit. And but yeah, that's true. That's true, man. A lot of times a woman has to know. I mean, you don't have to leave her or threaten to leave her, but a lot of women got to know. You get bitches, you know, bitches jock you and shit, or they gotta just know. They gotta know that you will leave them. Like you will catch. You know, it ain't just you. But if you live in that mindset, like you scared to leave her, or this all you got, and you can't do no better than her. When you live in it and you put them on a pedestal and you just focus on them, and you don't have nothing else going on, you ain't got no motion going on. That's why young guys be losing a woman. Yeah, they ain't got no money. They working their way up and they pedestalize. They do all this for that woman, but she still got to do it with money, a sugar daddy or somebody on the side and shit, you know, because you got to show women that you got motion. And a lot of husbands go through this. Believe it or not, a lot of husbands go through this. They not the guy that they used to. Kids, wife, you provide, you know, working all these hours to pay the bills. You don't keep your health up. You drinking Monsters and Red Bulls. You got a beer belly. Your skin fucked up. You ain't taking care of yourself. You got to prioritize that. You know, you got to prioritize. You got to stay him. That's the first thing. You can't be scared to leave if the woman don't care about you. If, you know, regardless, even if you a provider, yeah, she's scared. But if you got the attraction, you got it going on, and other women want you, you know, or like he said, you willing to walk away? You willing to walk away? You know, and she know you will walk away. She know you. That's why they stick with cheaters so much. Real talk. That's why they stick with cheaters so much. Because they know cheaters, other bitches want him, and now it's like, okay, other women want him. I don't know if I can get another man like that. You know, I better keep him. He a catch. These women want him, and a lot of these women's game, a lot of their game is to they want to be able to conquer. They want to be able to conquer the womanizer. The player, they want to be able to emasculate the player. They want to be able to butt break the player, domesticate the player, make him the husband and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I don't know where I pretty much left off at. I run into the grocery store. Everything's so damn expensive, but it is what it is, though. But yeah, you gotta, wherever I left off at, yeah, you gotta be able to, that's just in their mind, you know. They even leave you if you just, they know, you know, you ain't gonna, you know, you can speed up all you want to, brother. But they'll leave you if you get too attached. And it's just the way it is. And women that say that's a lie. And they even, you know, want to be up under you and stuff like that, and you kind of got to tell them you busy. Like, you know, women are complicated, you know, but you gotta keep building, keep doing. But yeah, you know, if they don't think you're gonna leave, you know, or they scared, you know, are scared to lose you, that's why they just try to conquer what they can't have. I think people don't really when people don't understand it, even they don't understand their nature. They just want to conquer what they can't have. This is why they're share men, and they think they pussy so precious that they give it to them and it's gonna keep them. That's why they lead with their vagina so much these days. They think their vagina is so good that somebody gonna get whipped. And it's some guy, but the guys like that, they don't deal with them. It's some guys, you know, when you give them the vagina, you know, they'll stay because it's convenient. They'll be loyal because you gave the vagina up and it's consistent vagina. And a lot of times the guys that do that is young guys or straight up busters who don't get none, you know. But you just got to really know that in these days, the bottom feeder women, the top feeder women, they all take you for granted. You know, they all take you for granted. If they feel like, you know, I can cheat on you, get away with it, or I can leave and come and go as I want to, and he ain't gonna leave, or he always gonna be here, you know, to a lot of women, they got a guy where they think they got comfortable and they can, you know, and they can do whatever they want, right? And the minute he leave, it's a shock to them. They're not financially prepared. They're not mentally prepared. You know, some women even like, you know, try to, you know, they want to gauge how you feel about them. They would say, oh, let's go on a break, or you want to break up. You be like, nah. Or let's get a divorce. You have women that do that to dudes. Let's get a divorce. And, you know, and the dude will be like, cool, let's do it. And they'd be like, oh, I really didn't want a divorce and all this type of stuff. And, you know, but in general, if they not scared to lose you and they know you're going to be there, be reliable, you can treat them all types of way. That's kind of why you see a lot of the script get flipped in marriage. That's why you see the flip get scripted in marriage so much. They feel like, yo, he ain't going nowhere, or this is why they try not to put prenups in the agreement, because the prenups keep women on their P's and Q's. They keep them on their P's and Q's. That's a fact. You know? And, you know, like Goldie, the game guy said, even though it's funny when they talking about he got finesse, but he said, but brother for life, finessed him out of some money. The comment section was wild on TikTok. But even like he said, you know, you don't know who a woman is, so she got leverage on you. You know, a lot of these guys with women, they can't financially make it on their own. A lot of guys can't. You ain't gonna say a lot, but there's guys in that situation. And a woman know that, and they can do whatever that. If you give a woman the autonomy to treat you the way, anything over you, most women is gonna do what they want to do. I'm telling you, they gonna fuck you over. That's why they have this this obsession with not letting the man be over them, and he gonna treat you because they know if they over you, they gonna do you dirty. They have this vitriol and hatred towards men because they're not men. They feel inferior and weak as women. That's what it is. Most women, you know, get to dominate you and be on top. That's, you know, they gonna do you dirty. If they paying all the bills, they gonna cheat. They gonna talk to you crazy. But if you in that scenario, you know, they don't want to be on that side. But guys ain't like that. Not in this generation. They're not that barbaric. They have empathy. As far as speaking to you, treating you some type of way. And I said before, man, a lot of dudes, man, you know, a lot of dudes, they chase the woman and they turn her off, man. Soon as all you got to do is just do you and chase your purpose. And people say, what's your purpose is, it depends on you. Every man's purpose is to procreate and have a family, but that ain't every man's path though. Some guys, they say, purpose is whatever. Whether it's being the best gamer, whether it's, you know, building a Fortune 500 company, you know, whether it's, you know, chasing success, dominating multiple fields, continue to set goals and crush it. Whether it's giving the game down to the younger generation, whether it's whatever it is, changing the community by bringing more information, whether it's trying to reach and save lives and talk to the youth or high risk people, whatever your purpose may be, it may just be just to make the world a better place and help people. And unfortunately, that's a dangerous purpose right now because people are taking advantage and abusing God people that's doing that in general. But hit the link in the description, join the Patreon.